Most clutter doesn't make a grand entrance. It doesn't knock on your door announcing chaos. It sneaks in quietly. One coffee mug left by the sink, one unread email buried beneath 43 others, one jacket casually draped over a chair for 3 days. And before you realize it, you're surrounded, not just by things, but by tension, distraction, and mental noise. Most of us don't notice it happening. We just wake up one day feeling behind, scattered, heavy, and we ask ourselves, how did it get like this? But what if there was a way to interrupt the spiral before it begins? A tiny rule, so small you could overlook it, so powerful it quietly reshapes your entire day. The 1-minute rule is beautifully simple. If a task takes 1 minute or less, do it right away. No to-do list, no overthinking, just a gentle, immediate response. Fold the blanket, close the drawer, rinse the glass, write down the thought, answer the quick message, clear the tab you've already read. This isn't about maximizing efficiency. It's not about squeezing more into your day. It's about creating a rhythm, a quiet undercurrent of care, a way to stop tiny tasks from turning into invisible burdens. Think of it like brushing away a single leaf before it becomes a pile, like catching a drip before it becomes a stain. These micro moments of action add up, not because they're big, but because they keep your life from feeling big in all the wrong ways. This rule isn't about urgency, it's about softness. It's how I create space before I need to reclaim it. Minimalism isn't about emptiness, it's about clarity. It's about learning to carry only what supports the life you want to live. The 1-minute rule helps me do that. Not through a dramatic clean-out, but through small moments of presence. When we ignore the little things, they compound. A dish becomes a sink full, a thought becomes a spiral, a tab becomes digital overwhelm, a single sock on the floor becomes a home that starts to feel neglected. These aren't just objects or tasks, they're signals. Tiny, silent reminders pulling at our focus, draining our energy without us even knowing. The 1-minute rule cuts through the noise before it grows loud. It says, I see this now, I'll tend to it now. Every small task completed is a reclaimed breath, a return moment, a refusal to carry what doesn't need to be carried. Because this rule isn't really about tidiness, it's about energy. When you delay small tasks, you're not saving time, you're borrowing stress from later. And that stress lives in your body. A cluttered space can start to feel like a cluttered mind, and over time it weighs you down. But one tiny completion at a time, you begin to shift, from passive to active, from reacting to choosing, from unconscious clutter to conscious calm. The 1-minute rule restores one of the rarest resources we have, mental spaciousness. And in that space, you find what productivity can't give you, a sense of ease, a sense of enough, a sense of being present in your own life. For me, the 1-minute rule shows up in quiet, ordinary ways. I walk through the door and hang up my bag instead of dropping it. Not to be neat, but to tell my body we're safe now. We have time. I reply to that one-line text before it becomes mental weight. I write down the thought that's circling, not to fix it, but to let it breathe on paper instead of cluttering my mind. These aren't grand gestures, but they create a rhythm of care, a life where my environment supports me instead of constantly needing something from me. That's what the 1-minute rule does. It creates peace without needing to escape your life to feel it. Sometimes we don't follow the rule, not because we don't have time, but because we're exhausted. We're holding more than we realize. We tell ourselves it's just a mug, I'll get to it later. It's just one notification. But later becomes later, and the stress becomes the soundtrack of our day. The 1-minute rule isn't about doing everything. It's about disrupting the buildup gently. It's about offering yourself a moment of presence in a life that constantly pulls you toward distraction. Not out of guilt, not to be perfect, but to come back to yourself, one small decision at a time. You don't need to declutter your entire house or overhaul your habits. You don't even need a plan. You just need 1 minute, one choice to tend to something small, to meet the moment instead of postponing it. Pick up the sock, answer the email, wipe the counter, say thank you, not because it's urgent, but because it makes space. Space for your breath to deepen, for your pace to slow, for your life to feel like yours again. Try it today. 1 minute, one task, one small return to yourself. And if this resonated with you, you're not alone. This path toward a simpler, slower, more spacious life, it starts small, and you've already begun. If you'd like more reflections like this, I'd love to have you subscribe or share this with someone who needs just a little more room to breathe.